We're married, you know. That's supposed to count for something.
He was a nice guy. So we talked. It wasn't like I kissed him or anything. Jeez.
Yeah, whatever.
Jealousy. It's a good trait to have in a husband. Unless, of course, he gets overly possessive.
Okay, why don't you just rest your tired ass and let me make the calls for a little while?
Tired ass? Where's that sweet, innocent youth I used to know?
Don't you worry about it. He's in here somewhere.
We better be.
What if I told you there was a movie that was really good at portraying a relationship that you probably never heard before? And yes, the reason why I'm talking about this movie, Have Dreams Will Travel, is because of AnnaSophia Robb. At this point, my channel is just the AnnaSophia Robb channel at this point, so I might as well cover a movie that I really like, Have Dreams Will Travel, or the more less cool title, West Texan Children's Story, whatever the hell it's called. It's a way lamer title. The much cooler title is Have Dreams Will Travel. It's a much cooler title. Well, you may ask, why is this movie so good at portraying relationships? Well, the movie uses children to act like an old married couple, and it's to highlight the ups and downs of being in a relationship together. And it's used both to make fun of it and also to create more serious moments. This movie is really funny, but also really, really depressing and sad. And it's really good doing both. Now, before I continue, I do want to address the really big elephant in the room, is why this movie looks terrible. And that's because this movie takes place in the 1960s. So it's filmed like a 1960s movie, which is really, really cool. And it creates a very nice, authentic feel. It's a very timeless feel. But there are downsides to this, and I don't know if it's because the version on YouTube that I'm watching and I recorded on has these issues, but all the nighttime scenes are in pitch black. Like, you cannot see anyone's face in the pitch black scenes. Like, it's really weird, but I don't know if that's just because I looked at other clips, not from that version that I watched on, and it seems to be the same case as well. I have no idea if there's a version of this movie that's in regular quality. I don't know, but I'd rather watch this movie in, the very blurry quality, because it makes it more authentic to the time period, because you get immersed that this is a 1960s movie. So the character plot, or say the more emotional plot, you can say, like, the actual, like, what the characters are going through, is it's about the inevitable wedge that gets in between every relationship, and Ben and Cassie, the main characters of the movie, have to look at other people's relationships that they come across their travels to resolve their own wedges. And I'm not going to get into big spoilers when it comes to this part of the movie, because that's what the movie's about. Like, I'm not going to spoil the actual wedge that's in between the two, because as the movie goes on, you actually see their wedge grow and grow and grow, but, they do resolve it, which is really cool. Because in the beginning of the movie, they are both self-aware that they're both in love with each other, but they know that of this wedge, and they say to each other that there's nothing in between each other, but that just falls apart, because and it's not either of their faults. It's just the inevitable wedge that comes between every relationship. And it doesn't matter how self-aware you are about it, it's always going to happen. But Ben and Cassie are self-aware enough to actually realize this and to resolve their issues. But the actual physical plot, like the actual, like what is actually happening in the movie, is that this movie is also very crazy. And it's basically Cassie gets into a car accident. Yeah, that's a very crazy thing that happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie. She gets into a car accident, and then basically a little bit later, she's like, "All right, Ben, we're gonna go to my aunt and uncle's house in Baltimore. We're just gonna leave your parents." And that's what they do. And the rest of the movie, it's basically them going on their travels, meeting different couples. Like I said earlier, they look at other couples, going on different little adventures. Once they do get to their destination, once they do get to Cassie's aunt and uncle's home, Cassie starts to act depressed. And this is when the movie gets really dark. And she does not tell Ben what actually is going on, and it's causing more of a wedge, leaving her to go into a mental hospital. A little bit later, Ben goes to rescue her, and she tells him what happened, and they live out the rest of their lives. And I'm keeping that very vague, because I want you to watch this movie for yourself, because the actual main physical plot of this movie it does kind of matter, but it's more the actual character plot, like why Cassie's feeling so depressed and emotional. And I want you, the viewer, to watch the movie to see it for yourself rather than me telling you. The reason I'm even talking about this movie is because of AnnaSophia Robb. Like I said at the beginning of the video, my channel is just the AnnaSophia Robb channel at this point. I don't want it to be, but I just really love this movie. Like, I recently rewatched this movie, and I was like, I really want to talk about it. And one of the reasons is AnnaSophia Robb. She is perfect in this. She has a very dynamic role in this. She goes from being this very smart, brash, self-contained person to going full breakdown in tears, where she needs to constantly be in Ben's arms. Like, it's such a dynamic performance that is so realistic for a girl, and it's cool. In my AnnaSophia Robb ranking video, I did put her performance in second place. Now, I am kind of regretting that a little bit, even though I was ranking more than just the performance, so there's more to it than that. Also, in that video, I also had, I guess, an overall movie ranking at the end of the video, and I put that in second place, which I do agree with. This movie is very well known in her fandom. Like, the reason why I even know about this movie in the first place is because people on Reddit do talk about this movie and do name drop it. So I was like, you know, why don't I go watch it, you know, a little while ago, and, you know, I really love this movie. So Caden Boyd, the actor who plays Ben, has a very familiar look to him. You might recognize him as Max from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So it went from Shark Boy and Lava Girl to this, which is a very impressive step up, because he is just really good in this. And when I first watched the movie, I did not know. Yes, he looked familiar, like really familiar, but I could not put my tongue on it until I looked him up. And I was like, he's Max from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That's a crazy step up. And both carry this movie, and it's not just AnnaSophia Robb who carries this, even though she has a very big part of it, but no, both her and, you know, Caden Boyd, they both do a really good job. They both work off each other so well, and they're the reason why this movie works so well, because if their chemistry did not work, this movie would just drag on, and it wouldn't work out. Now, I do have criticisms of this movie. Now, all the criticisms I have are more towards the beginning, and they're not that big of a deal, really, because my first criticism is that the beginning of the movie has a narration by Ben, and he mainly talks about his own parents, and that's good and all, but the problem is that it goes on for way too long. Like, I actually looked at the timer. It takes like 6 minutes for, like, Cassie to show up in the movie, and the rest of the 5 minutes, besides the intro, is just dedicated to his parents, and they do very little in the movie. Like, there's an entire sequence where they meet, like, he talks about how they met, and that's pointless. Like, we don't need to see that. Like, I don't know why, but it's like, there's no point. We already understand. Like, the movie does a good job of portraying why his parents are just really terrible people, why they shouldn't be married. Like, that gets across very quickly, so we, the audience, don't see how they got, like, together, really. My second criticism is with Ben and Cassie falling in love. They do it way too quickly, but I understand why that's the case, because this movie isn't about falling in love. It's about the relationship afterwards, like keeping that relationship together more than falling in love, which is a really interesting way to portray a movie, because most movies are about falling in love. Like, movies that are about romance are about two people falling in love, but this shows the aftermath of that, and the movie wants to go as quickly as possible. Because of that, Ben and Cassie have like one scene where they talk to each other, and afterwards it's like, yeah, they're in love, and that's it. We don't actually see them falling in love. It's just one scene, and then they're like, okay, that's it, they're in love, alright, let's just leave now. And like, it goes way too quickly the first time you see it, but, you know, if you were to rewatch the movie, it's not that bad. So overall, I really like Have Meaningful Travel. This movie is very low-key. Unless you're a fan of AnnaSophia Robb, you're not gonna know this movie exists, but I think it's really cool. It's a very low-key movie. Yeah, this movie's an artsy movie, kind of, but for the most part, it is, you know, a funny movie about two kids acting like adults, and having a very, very serious second half of the movie that really does pull on your heartstrings. So as a casual just person who just, you know, the everyday person, it still is a really good movie. But that's all I really gotta say for that. I mean, I guess hit the like button, subscribe to my main channel, TCK Bob, subscribe to this channel. I don't know when we do the next upload on this. This channel is a passion project channel, so I don't know when the next upload is gonna be. But with that all the way, I'm gonna go now, so goodbye everyone.